IRB members preparing to present a protocol at an HIC meeting as a primary or secondary reviewer should keep these points in mind. There are three main categories of reviews undertaken at full committee meetings: initial reviews of new protocols, continuing review of previously approved protocols, and review of major amendments to existing protocols. It is an expectation that all members will have prepared for the meeting by reviewing the packet of materials posted on SharePoint. So, when presenting a new protocol for initial review, every feature of the protocol and consent need not be discussed. Rather, the primary reviewer should present a brief summary of the research plan to call the members' attention to the type of study, its specific aims, the intervention to be tested, the risk level and means to reduce risk, the potential benefits, and any other elements that are essential to the understanding of the study. Remember, the review criteria for IRB approval are detailed on the protocol review sheet. While these criteria form the basis for approval, the committee discussion should focus on noted problems or deficiencies in the protocol application. These are the elements that require discussion for resolution. Additionally, any issues that require committee deliberation should be summarized for later discussion. When there is lack of clarity or there are issues requiring resolution, it is helpful if the reviewer comes to the meeting with input from the principal investigator and/or comes with proposed ways to resolve any identified issues. For new protocols, we also assign a secondary reviewer. The thinking is that this is a second person who is expected to closely review the materials. The comments at the meeting of the secondary reviewer should supplement the primary reviewer's presentation. It is not necessary to repeat all the points already made, but rather to add any additional points that must be discussed or addressed. Both the primary and secondary reviewers are expected to complete the reviewer sheet, which becomes a permanent part of the IRB record, documenting attention to all necessary review criteria for IRB approval. Now, members may also be assigned to perform continuing review or review for annual reapproval. The reviewer should keep in mind that this study has already been reviewed and approved and has been in progress. The need for continuing review per OHRP guidance is focused on these four aspects of the research: risk assessment and monitoring, adequacy of the consent process, investigator and institutional issues, and progress of the study. Again, remember that members are expected to have looked at the materials posted on SharePoint, so a detailed presentation of the protocol is not necessary. Include in your presentation a brief description of the study accrual to date, any unanticipated adverse events or problems in the last year, and any new information that may affect the risk-benefit assessment. Clearly, problems in any of these areas would prompt the committee discussion need. Also, if there are amendments that accompany the request for reapproval, the reviewer should describe the change and assess whether the change will affect the risk-benefit assessment. The third main category of work involves major amendments to the protocol, which must be reviewed at full committee. Again, keep in mind that the underlying protocol and consent form have already been approved. So it is important to review the amendment as it changes the previously approved materials. Of course, the assessment of whether any of the changes can impact the risk-benefit assessment is the important aspect for presentation and discussion. Remember, if you have questions, contact the PI and/or the regulatory analyst before the meeting. And don't forget to hand in your review sheet. These review sheets are kept in the protocol file and demonstrate consideration of the essential regulatory elements required for IRB approval of a protocol.